My social media show. I do have two different shows that I run. One is in real life, in studio here in Aurora, Illinois. You've probably seen some of the promo videos out there if you've been following me for a while. And then I have this one, which is more of a social media engagement, more like tea time with Towing, sharing, teaching, guiding, and then I also have my school and academy for entrepreneurs as well, Academy. So welcome. Today you're in for a treat. You're going to really have a great time today. You're going to enjoy the discussion. So I invite you. I welcome you. Thank you for being here. I see people already joining. Thank you, Anisha, for joining on Clubhouse. I see the right baker. Thank you. Let me know where you're joining from. Feel free to use the chat space, or as we discussed, you can also come up to the stage, contribute, share, right? Ask your questions as well. So thank you everyone for joining. So why, boundaries? Why does it matter to helping you unlock your full potential? The keyword or the keywords are full potential. Right? On your journey to success, why do we need boundaries and how do they help us? Okay. So I'm going to start with, excuse me there, let me turn this off. Okay. So I'm going to start with your story. The story, right? Jackson, Florida. Thank you for being here. The story goes such as this. When you were born, when we were all born as a baby, right? A baby, what's their consciousness? The consciousness of a baby in terms of the mind development, the emotional development, the physical development, right? And the spiritual development of a newborn child. Near zero, right? This is our story, our collective story. So I see Accra, Ghana represented, Bentonville, Arkansas. Okay, my previous hometown. Thank you for joining. So when a baby is born, when you were born, right? The consciousness, alertness, awareness, perception of the entire world of a child is limited. Okay? And so when we're born, we are programmable. We're a blank slate. We are offered into the world with near zero consciousness awareness. And then the programming starts. Okay? The programming starts as you're being welcomed. Trust me, all those the voices from the hospital room, the voices, the sound, right? The child now starts being aware of new voices and new sound. Remember, in the womb, it's water swish, right? The sound is different, it's a different world. When you come into this world, new sounds, new language, you learn language of communication, how to walk, how to talk. People teach you how to live life. Those who arrived here before you, take it upon them. They have the responsibility of guiding, of teaching. Okay? So those who arrived start telling us how they've lived their life and what they believe is best for us. This is the programming. Don't say this, say this. They start offering us, they start offering you their food, right? Literally and figuratively, what they've eaten that has helped them survive in the world. They love you enough to share it with you. Their thoughts, they offer you their thoughts. They offer you their way of feelings, how they feel. They give it to you. They give you all that they can give you so that your own journey, you can make it useful. But here's the key. I'm going to bring in an analogy and a story now. Just imagine that as a seed is thrown. Okay, here's the key. You are being buried. You are now buried. Your true authentic identity is literally buried under a lot of those things: influences, voices, thoughts, assertions, projections, who they think you are. When you are born, the people you are born into as a gift, What do they know about you? They see you as their child, and so they program us. Okay? They give us their best, they shower us with their love, they give us everything that they've got out of their heart. You are doing this too to your kids, right? Here is the key: as the seed, you are being buried under all of those things. If they did it well, right? So just think about that. As a seed planted, all kinds of thoughts, ideas. You go to school, they program you ABCD. The school programs you the first 20 years. If you attain at least the first degree, you spend a good, maybe a good 20, 22 years being clouded. Your mind will be loaded with specific information knowledge that they believe is going to help you get a job. Okay? You are being gifted with all kinds of tools that they believe you need for your journey. Okay? So you go from 0, let's just say 0 to 20 program. You also know that 0 to 7, they always talk about, the state of the mind is more programmable 0 to 7. But I'm also even expanding beyond just 7, 0 to at least 22. You're still roaming. If you've not activated some of the things I'll talk about today, you're still programming life, right? Based on everything that they've poured in you. You are living your life based on external, the school system, your community, culture, nurture, nature, all those things you now take on. You become somebody that is a reflection, and then you make people happy. They've told you who you ought to be based on their own best intelligence. The school system tells you what do you want to be? School, sciences, arts, craft. With the limited knowledge that you have, maybe you picked accounting or you picked law. When did you pick it? What age? How much of law did you really know? You're just finding your way through life, pretty much. So you make your best guess and then you stick to it. And then very soon, at 22, 23, they now push you into the world. Now you need to go into the world with all of the things you've been equipped with. And now you need to function. But guess what? Maybe for some, it's now the first time you have to stand on your 2 feet. Sometimes some people stumble, some people make it. Now you have to find your way through life by yourself. Okay? But here is the key. Here's the key. If you've not done this work, right, you've been programmed outside in. Okay? Outside in terms of who you've become, is a reflection of all the external voices that have influenced your identity. You've taken on identity that is a mirror of what you've seen out here in the world. Nothing wrong with that. Here's the key though. Most of those things put you into survival mode. Okay? Most of those things, it activates survival, because the moment 2023, they put you out there, literally, if you've not done this work, you are in survival mode. You are trying to survive an environment that you've been equipped for, but you are trying to survive. Right? Marriage, this, that, you are in survival mode, right? So most times, 23 to 50, let's just put that. If you don't activate this work that I'm about to share with you, many people can reach 50 and beyond. I'm just giving that age range. This is where they talk about midlife crisis, all of those things, right? Right? It's the day you wake up. It's the day you wake up and you arrive at a space and you go, how did I get here? Okay, we also see Augusta, Georgia. Awesome. Thank you so much. The day you awaken, okay, from the literal matrix, from the slumber that the world has put you and I into, right? Okay, That's where many times people talk about midlife crisis, this. I'll explain a little bit further, right? But just go with me. I hope you're this is this is delicious enough for those who want clarity, right? Feel free to use the chat space, drop your thoughts. If there's anything I've said that resonates with you, if it's a phrase, if it's a thought, if it's an idea, please share it. So 0 to 7, you're taught how to eat, how to walk, how to speak language. You see, you are taking in the world, you're experiencing the world, consciousness is expanding, right? 0 to 22, at least you go into the school system, you learn A for Apple, all those things. You pick a profession, right? They guide you. These are all external programming on yourself. And so you become what at best everybody believes, right? Because this is a support system. Those who arrive before you, they support you because you are doing it for other people now. But the next birth, so the first bet is your mom betting you. The second bet is the systems betting you, all the systems of the world, government, education, because education is controlled by government, just in case people wonder. The education curriculum, listen, is highly governed. The government tells you and dictates what they want you to teach. They want to teach so that you can be useful in that economy, so that you can contribute positively to yourself and the economy, so that you can be a useful member of the society, so that you don't live a dependent life. So you are not depending, right? Part of the process is making sure your basic needs, food, clothing, and shelter, when you become 22, 23 or before, you are not dependent on your parents again. You are not dependent on your sister, on your community, that by 22, 23, you can feed yourself and hopefully feed the family you're about to create. That's the game. The government doesn't want you not having the skills that will help you get a job and create a livelihood. Okay, I'm fast tracking those things. The third birthing, and there may be several of those later, and many people do not activate that one, is you rebirthing yourself. Now the world has told you who you ought to be. The third elevation is when you now have to tell the world, do you agree or not? That is the inside out. This is where boundaries come in. And that stuff can happen. So you might find yourself, this is where things happen. You might find yourself in a marriage where, for example, you're doing that life because of what has been dictated. You're playing a role dictated to you. Sometimes people get tired. Eventually, sometimes people just get tired and go, no, it's not working anymore. This is where they've loaded you with armor. They thought they were helping you. Remember David that was fighting Goliath? They armored him up. They gave him the shield of Saul. They were trying to help. But eventually, awareness of his own skill, David's awareness of his own skill made him go, you know what? That doesn't fit me. So the day you realize in terms and you awaken to a consciousness of everything I've been given or told, the stories I believe that have shaped who I am, which one fits me and which one doesn't. And your ability to shed the ones that doesn't fit you and then to take on, right? This is the inside out work. The reason is because our mind has been trained by the world, and the world is your community, those who raised you, everything, right? Conditioning. Your mind has been trained and shaped to function a certain way. Your heart, emotions, feelings, okay, has also been influenced because your thoughts would suddenly influence how you feel. Do you feel fulfilled? Are you living a happy life? Are you living a purposeful life? Right? How do you feel in your own body? The life you're living right now, check in with yourself. Take a pause. Okay? Just check in. How do you feel? Happy? Fulfilled? Content? Thriving? Okay? Check in with yourself. Answer that question. Write it down. This is honesty. The next journey requires you to confront yourself. Okay? So, depending on how you answer that question, will determine the gap between where you are and where you ought to be. So, for some people, it might be a little, for some people, it's a wide gap, for some, it's a complete transformation. This is the inside out. The reason is because the most brilliant, intelligent, full of power version of you, your spirit side, has incredible potential. This is why I talk about your full potential. What level of potential have you been trained right now to operate in? This is when within you, you can sense that there is more in you. So let me check in with that. Do you feel there is more inside you that is yet to be expressed in the world? Is that a yes? Give me a yes, give me a no. Type. Do you feel you got more? Do you feel there's something locked in within you, potential, your greatness, right? That you can deliver greater results? Do you feel that? That is the inner side of you trying to find expression in the world. You have to make room for it. So it's no longer outside in, it's now being in tune inside with your soul, right? Your soul wants to express itself. It's here on an assignment, it's here on a mission. It needs you to be equipped to fulfill your mission. The question is, the training you got the first half, will it help you fulfill that purpose? Or is it keeping you further away from purpose? This is the battle at hand. Where boundaries now comes in is when you activate that seed that is in the ground. So much, yes, so much more. Amazing. You need to listen to this. So, as a seed, if you're a Christian, the Genesis 1:28 says, be fruitful, multiply. The seed that needs to be fruitful needs to be activated, needs nutrients, needs activation, right? Needs the perfect soil, the perfect environment to activate you as human, as a seed of greatness. You need to activate yourself. You need to put yourself in the right conditions, nurture nurture your mind, nurture your energy, on and on and on, before you can bear this fruit. And this is where creativity, your natural creativity and productivity, is a key, right, to your success. I'm not saying survival, I'm saying thriving, right? Fulfillment, right? The highest level of your right, of your full potential, of expressing the highest version of you. Okay? The highest version of us is going to come out of the authentic nature of you. Okay? Not the person you've become based on external programming, government school. Oh, I'm an accountant. You take on this identity. I'm an accountant, I'm a lawyer, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, and then you stand. That is fantastic. It allows you to really be successful based on what the world says success is. Okay? But you can be a doctor and not be fulfilled. You can be a lawyer and not be fulfilled. You can be an accountant, be making all that money, living that life. It appears glossy. It appears just as they wished it for you. They wished you a good job. There's nothing wrong with that. They are fantastic. I'm saying what is going on within us. That voice, when you put your head on the pillow and you go out there, you do what everybody expects of you. You do what your family expects of you, all of them. When you come back home and you put your head on the pillow, the voice that when the old world's voice has been quieted, that little voice will now start reminding you all your hopes, dreams, aspirations, who you ought to be, the things you came here to do in the world. Okay? Now, courage is required. This is where you want to hold on to the life you have right now. And then there's a new life calling you. There's a new birth. Literally, it's a birth. It's the caterpillar becoming a butterfly. A new identity. Yes, you've been crawling. You've been, I believe, right? All of those things. But inside of you, if you say, I believe I can fly, that you know there's more glory. Some things want to express itself, right? More fruits, greatness, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it. Listen, if you are not subduing, you are being subdued. Let me stop there before I share more tips, okay? I just want to get some reaction. I know people always say, Toyi, keep going, but let me just take a moment because I know I just packed a lot in the first 20 minutes. Thoughts right now, or should I just keep going? Alicia, Z, I know you guys just joined on Clubhouse. Thank you for being here. Any thoughts, reactions, or you're just enjoying the share? Anything shifting for you? Any awareness or anything coming at you right now? And those on LinkedIn, do drop it as well. And those on Instagram, any thoughts? Okay. Or too much? Let me see. Oh, wow. Enjoying the message. Okay, Z. Okay. So basically, the day you decide, because there's a decision now, programming, exactly, Kenneth. Yes. So this next, should I say, phase of your life, if you so choose that you want to experience it, because not everybody, listen, it's another, giving birth to a baby, your mom bore that burden, that 9 months. You didn't birth yourself, right? The pressure was on your mom to do all that work. The second phase, they gathered their resources, they bettered you education. Or maybe towards the end, you were doing some little work. But literally, that burden of your second phase was also on the society, on the community, on the government, maybe free education here and there, taxes here, right? The third and last one, it's on you 100%. It's the gift, it's the ultimate gift. You believe enough in yourself, you value that future and that glimpse enough in yourself. It is you gifting it to you. So many times, if you're not ready to invest, remember, as a baby, somebody invested, they did all the work for you, you just showed up. Second phase, it was a collaboration. They invested in you, you went to school, you did a little bit, but you didn't bear all the burden. This third round, you will bear 100% of the burden. And so when people don't want to bear the burden, you see them halfway. I can see it. I sense it a lot online. I sense it a lot. People want to eat their cake and have it. You want to hold on to the old life and you want the new life. Listen, the umbilical cord, if you don't cut it, right? I'm using analogy now. Imagine if a baby that needs to be birthed, does not want to graduate, wants to stay with inside mommy's cozy womb because it's comfortable. Where you're coming from is always going to be comfortable. That's why many people don't grow. Okay, when we say personal development, it's work, it's painful. But on the other side is growth and expansion. So imagine a baby that needs to be birthed. Listen, we would drag, the midwife would drag you out, and the baby comes out crying, "Whoa, leave me alone. That place was cozy." They're like, "No, we need you here. 9 months is enough. We need you here." Imagine then the second phase, you went to school and you were so comfortable with studying, and they say, "Come and graduate." You don't graduate. You have to graduate. You can't stay in the old and be in the new. There's nothing like that. That's what many people are trying to do right now. Holding on to the cozy, comfortable old, but they know the future must not find them there. There are places you are occupying right now. The future must not find you there. The future, no matter how comfortable it is, the future needs you to be in another location. It could be another location, it could be something else, another identity. And so this third phase is all on you. No help. But there's help if you're a Christian, help of God, right? You're right. All these things I'm saying, right? Hopefully it's not new to you, because inside of you, trust me, I know what I'm saying is resonating inside of you, your soul is telling you, I told you, I told you, I know it, I know it. If right? Because that activation is a realization that there is more for you, that there is more fruit. You see, Bible talks about be fruitful, right? But Jesus also said, I will prune you that you may bear more fruit. That more fruit is pruning. Ideas, thoughts, emotions, this. Because the higher version of us, you cannot carry a lot of the baggages. You can't carry it there. It doesn't work. This is when we talk about personal development, right? Coaching, all those things, right? Because boundaries, as an example, is now a tool for success at that next level. Because as the seed is coming out, you've got to push away everything that buried you. You are buried. The highest version of you is buried under this current version of you. Pushing everything away, saying no, saying yes, right? Versus becoming an agent of the system. The system that bettered you, right, controls you. Let that sink in. You know, matrix, until you break out of the matrix you are in right now. Because 100%, when you find yourself limited, feeling powerless, feeling confused without clarity, you are in that matrix and you're an agent. You've been trained to be an agent of that system. The education system, listen, it never told you to help you become a multi-billion dollar. You do that for yourself. Do you get my point? The vision of success, the education system you went through, never promised you that it will help you do everything you are seeing in your vision right now. It wasn't designed that way. Those who achieve unlimited success, they break out from the limitations of all of those things. Okay? And the day you decide you want to self-actualize, right? Not survive, you want to thrive. You want to unpack everything you brought into the world, everything that God gave you, the seed of success, the ideas, the ambition that you have. There will be resistance. Boundaries, how you confront that. Right? Because remember, you're buried. A seed is buried. If the power and the weight of the soil that buried the seed, if that seed doesn't activate its own internal power, it's buried for life. Nobody will see it come out. When you activate your own power, okay, that's when you start showing up. And when you start showing up, trust me, you surprise yourself, you surprise everybody else. You know why? The tree doesn't look like the seed. You're not going to look anything like who you are today. The butterfly looks nothing like the caterpillar. This is the incredible part of nature, is that you start out being a seed. But what is inside that seed? This is how God, amazing nature of God. The fruits and the success that is loaded in that seed, you don't even know it. You don't know the potential of a seed. You don't know your own potential until you start unpacking it. You don't even know what God has put in you. We don't know it until you die to self. The old self has to die. And then you need to start feeding, nurturing. You need to move out of some places. You need to stop some conversation. You need to start new ones. You need to start saying no. Because in that old system, listen, you try telling your boss no. Start telling your employer no. Start telling anybody no. No, the old system did not raise you to summon up the courage to resist. Okay? We've not been trained to assert our thoughts. So when you start saying, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what works for me, this is not what works for me, you find yourself going against expectations. But the part of this journey is you setting the expectation for yourself based on the intelligence you have of what you are here to do. So it's a journey. Now, before I go, caution. A lot of times when people activate the side of them, there are two paths people can go. One is positive, one is negative. This is where you start seeing the negative side of it is rebellion. The day you wake up and realize, oh, you've been programmed. Oh, this, the midlife crisis. Oh, marriage. Oh, it's this. Ah, no, I've been trying to please everybody. Now I need to please myself. Da, 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 da. Right? If people don't do this the right way and follow a certain process, there is a process, an healthier process, because trust me, it's part of the cycle of life. Nobody teaches us, but it is part of life. It's actually normal. But when that activation happens, it's different for each person. God has also designed it that you are supposed to be activated by certain things. People talk about disruption. Some things can activate. It could be a loss of a job, a loss of a loved one. It can just awaken you consciously to say, I am more than I am right now. There are so many tools that God uses to activate that awareness. Okay, now what do you do with that information is now up to you. Okay, this is now you training yourself, gifting yourself new skills, working on your confidence, right? Right, because the moment you create more consciousness and you deal on emotional stuff, more power will be released into your system and you can do more. You have more energy. Right now, people have energy depletion. Right? You go to the workplace, you ought not to be there. You are not stimulated, you are not inspired, you are not motivated. So you are clocking in and clocking out. Clocking in and clocking out. And the energy level keeps, right, going down, down, down. Many people are facing that right now. Okay? When you find yourself going down, when you talk about all this thing going down, 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 what activates you is hope, more. That tomorrow has to look differently than today. If you don't believe that tomorrow is better than today, this is where people go downhill. But if you believe that tomorrow, next year, 5 years, 10 years from now, that more of you, that there is so much more for you in the future than you are enjoying right now, this is where that activation, you start working hard to create that life. And then boundaries, like I'm teaching some classes in my church, specific things that people can do. But today I just wanted to explain why. Why is it important? Is that this is when you now have to start saying, what do I want? Who am I? What do I need? In fact, let me explain something to you. Need and want are different things. Let me just wrap up on that. I'll explain that and then I'll close out. Need and want is different thing, and I'll use an analogy. I like using those type of stories so that people understand. If I ask you, what do you want to eat for dinner? Let's say you say spaghetti. Or I ask you, who do you want to become? And you say doctor. That's what you want. Or you want to say, I want to build a business. That's what you want. Okay. In order to eat spaghetti, to get what you want, what do you need? Those are the ingredients. So success has ingredients. You'll be given the picture of the destination. Your job is to find what you need to get what you want. Need is your desperation, the bricks that you need to build this new life. Pieces of the puzzle that will help you gain a better picture, clarity. So what you want is what you lead with. Clarity of what do you want? What do you now want? Boundaries help you understand what do you need. What do you need? You have to communicate your needs, right? Because you have to clear the air. You have to clear the space for you to be creative, for us to be productive, for us to bear the fruits, for us to become that next level. Okay? That next version of you. You need to make room for it. You have to say yes, you have to say no. It's to surprise people. You have to clear out everything that's been burying you. Because there's a certain identity. You've accepted a certain identity in the game plan. 12 strategies for winning. That's actually a resource to start with. The first 1 week in the accelerator program I have is dedicated to mindset, right? Personal strategy. You can do that, and then if you want to build a business, then you continue on the path. But the first 1 week is really self-actualization, success self-actualization, right? Because when people tell me, oh, I want to build business as a success coach, as a business coach, as a strategist, what always happens is the business is based on an idea. Businesses are built on an idea. Wealth is built on the ideas God has given you. And so, if you've not trained yourself to believe in yourself, to believe in your voice, to realize that this is inside out, not outside in, those who don't understand boundaries cannot build successful businesses, right? Because the success you're creating, the success you're going to create, let's say, is inside out. You've already created outside in. You have a job. You've done everything the system, what their picture of success for you, what they wish for you, you have it. A family, this. What God wishes for you. That's the third version. That's the third version. That's otherwise people stay there for and it. I mean, many people don't activate the third element, the third phase of you saying, I've achieved this level of success, but I can see more for myself. And I'm ready to commit, to invest, to become, to bet that version, that third version. You have to bet it. Okay? It's not your mom, it's not your mama, it's not your friends, it's not your community, it's not your neighbor. Many people say, oh, they are not helping me. Oh, nobody's supporting this. Listen, that is still the old nature talking. The teenager, right? The teenager in you that still depends. I'm not saying you're not going to need support and help, but you may be you are looking back right now. The people who bettered version 1 and version 2, you have to go find the people that will help you bet version 3. This is where we talk about coaching. We talk about all the classes, courses, like, but people don't understand. They're like, I don't need a coach. Hey, they are the midwives of version 3. Right? We've gone through our own. We're still doing our own stuff. So we can tell you the story. How do you think I can share this with you? So when I say I've designed a program, people are like, you don't know the value. It's the value of the new future. Making it easier so that you're not, because it can take 5 years, it can take 10 years, it can take the next 20 years to birth that version. Right? Because now what you want versus what you need is a new way of thinking. What you need to evolve the version of you, the version of us that will create that life we see. Let's say you have a vision, I'm going to create a multi-million-dollar business. Listen, this version of you, does it know enough? Does it have the skills? Does it have the systems? My book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur. Do you have the mindset? Do you have the relationships that can help you do it? What you want, the vision is clear. What do you need to cook that soup? You need to be gathering it every day. Relationships, information, skills development, mindset work, heart work. Because the person you are right now created what you have right now. That new picture, you need to give birth to the person that can do that work easily, effortlessly, that has the relationship, has the knowledge, has the capacity to pull it off. And even in the Bible, it's the same. Joseph had to develop for you to be relevant and useful, right? In the house of the prime minister, you need to have levels of skills. So God has created spaces that you can that is for you, that you would occupy. Greatness is for you. It's for you. Nobody can take it from you. There are seats and positions of greatness for people. The question is, are you great? What's your journey? How are you developing yourself to be a great person? What training would you subject yourself to become great, so that your greatness can occupy great spaces? You went through 5 years, 6 years, at least 5 years of university to get a job. Okay. That next job, the next assignment, what are you going to go through? What do you need to know? What skills do you need to develop? Right? So the first program is getting that, right? That's foundational stuff. When I say mindset reset, is to go on a journey for success, you cannot bring in the old mindset. It has to change. If the caterpillar that has never flied, if it attempts to use the mindset of a caterpillar to become a butterfly, no, that's why it goes into a cocoon and it renews itself. Because the mind that is flying, that is thriving, that is believing, faith, possibilities, does not say, oh, I don't have money. In fact, there's a program I want to teach that is more called money mindset, 3 money mindset, level 1, level 2, level 3. Because those who haven't done this work, level 1, there's a certain language. I don't have this. That language is the language of survival. Those who haven't activated, they've not gone through the game plan, 12 strategies for winning. My first week 1 program in my school, in the accelerator. That first program, listen, you need to move your mind from survival. You need to move it up into a sense of possibility. I can do. And the Bible, for those who are Christians, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. So if you don't move yourself like I can't, you can't, that is the limitation of phase 2 of your birth. You need to birth yourself into a sense of possibility. I can do all things. Anything I want to do, I can do it. Right? Anything I want to do, I can do it. Anything I want to do, I can do. There's nothing stopping me. What is stopping you? Guess what? In the old system, in the old school, your teacher will stop you. You know how they stop you? They give you F. They fail you. Your employer now can fire you anyhow. That next phase, nobody can fire you unless you fire yourself. Unless you stop doing the work necessary to grow your future. Then you fired yourself. Nobody can fire you. But you can fire yourself. You can delete yourself from the process. You can say, I'm not doing again. You can say, this is enough. You can pack your car and say you're not going anywhere, that you've arrived. But trust me, for those who are Christians, you've seen the hand of God reach out and activate or reactivate Moses. Moses became content. When he was young, he was vibrant. He knew he was. He knew his power, and he made mistakes. Eventually, the consequences caught up with him. He ran away. And then he got settled. But listen, there's a new rebirth. God had to confront him. That old identity, done, new renewal, and it takes a conversation. Right? Just like Jesus was talking to the woman at the well. Whenever there's a new birthing, there's a new conversation you must have. And it is the truth that will set you free from the old. There's so many lies that have been sold. You can't do this. The people like you don't do this. Women do that. All the conditioning. Oh, you can't do that. You can't do. Boundaries is what will help you say, you know what? The boundaries that they laid for you, you now have to lay your own. Right? You are suffering a lot of boundaries. This is your job. This is your title. Everybody in this title, you say, yes, sir, yes, ma. You do your job, face it, don't tell the boss anything. That's a boundary they've put on you. If you don't create your own, if you don't push back, you stay within their boundary. Oh, women did this. Oh, this. Boundaries everywhere. Don't you see boundaries everywhere? Well, you, the great version of you, you need to learn how to say, you know what? I hear you. I see you. When God's Bible talks about you are of the world, but you are not. You are living in the world, but don't be of the world. That's a boundary. Don't be confined, okay? But don't conform, okay? Because trust me, you've been programmed to conform. What I'm saying, you need to. I hope. Am I speaking to myself? You, the great version of you, now has to rise up and say, oh, enough. I've heard it all. Enough. Thank you so much. And the two tools you need gratitude and forgiveness to do this work. Remember, I told you two parts. Some people, it leads to rebellion, anger, all those things. Because the day you wake up from the matrix, you realize the game that you're in the matrix and you need to break out. Some people break out and they crash themselves. They don't fly. Butterfly is beautiful, but not everybody makes it out of the cocoon, right? Not every caterpillar makes it. To make it the other beautiful, nature has a beautiful process for you to go from phase 2 to phase 3. This is where we talk about mentorship, right? Coaching, a gentle approach that helps you unravel, unpack, delete things you need to delete, right? Reprogram your life for success. Okay? There's a gentler approach to unveiling the newer version of you, to listening. And the number one key is truth. You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Lies abound. Oh, they don't do this. Oh, they don't do that. And listen, the lies, everything you believe is what is creating your life for you. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. The moment you believe it and you own it and you claim it as yours, it will dictate your life. So all the limitations you are feeling right now is influenced by the stories you believe. The day if you believe what I'm telling you right now, something will shift in you, you will change. If you don't believe it, you stay where you are. That's how belief works. It's influenced by thoughts and ideas and stories. Thoughts, ideas, stories. So your culture has a story, right? Your nurture, the family of origin have stories. You also, you've come up with stories. This is who I am. This is how I speak. Da, 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 da. All of those things, you now have to unravel them, put them under a microscope, sift them out, filter them, because many of them may not take you to that next level. And then there are new ways of thinking, new ways of speaking, new skills you must adopt that is important for you to thrive. You have to develop all of those things. And so if you don't invest in developing, I talked about two things that will help you do it the right way. There's the wrong way, anger, this, you fight. Okay, I get it. People don't become a butterfly because butterfly is beautiful. The butterfly in you, listen, you will glow if you do it the right way. And the right way is, on one hand, you hold gratitude. Be grateful for everybody that supported you till this level to create the old version. Offer them gratitude, big time. Number two, offer them forgiveness. They gave you the best. Because this new birthing, you have to rebirth yourself. All the emotional stuff you're facing, right? Unforgiveness, all those things, the people who anger you, the people who frustrate you, all of those things, your heart and your mind, they lock you up so that the flow of energy, right, that will power the transformation, right? Because transformation requires a lot of energy. Okay, for you to change, that's why I always tell people, if you're managing chaos, you cannot prioritize your future, because both of them need your energy. All the people you're trying to please, that you've tethered yourself to, they're siphoning your energy. The energy you need to build your future is dissipating. When you feel weak, think about, there are thoughts in your mind that is they're holding on tight to you. Remember, when a baby wants to come out, the old would hold on tight. This is why we talk about breakthrough. There are things that will hold on tight. Fear, everything you're afraid of, they've taken all your energy. So you have to break the hold of fear. And you have to take on faith. Faith as small as a mustard seed, you need it. Because you have to believe the future more than you believe the past. So offer gratitude. Thank you so much. Wear gratitude every day. Because if you're not grateful, you rebel. Offer gratitude. Thank you. They gave you the best of them, but it's not enough for the best of you. Gratitude. Number two, forgiveness. The reason is because as you start that process that I take people through, you start seeing all the stuff you swept under the rug. You will see it. You will be. This is where you talk about enlightenment, inner light. You activate your inner light. You know, when light turns up, darkness goes away. You'll be like, what? You see yourself. Awareness expands, consciousness expands, perception expands. You will see what you've not been seeing because you've been blinded by the old thought, right? The second phase. You know, when babies are born, there's a lot of, you're not aware. The second phase, you have a little bit more awareness, you know chemistry, you know enough to do the job. I'm telling you, the next third phase, illumination, wisdom. Wisdom floods into you, into your system. Now you can see, and I'm saying be ready to forgive, because you will see all the damages, you will see the control, you will see so many things. You will see so many things you're not seeing right now. You will see so many things you're not seeing right now. And I'm saying, once you start seeing who is doing what, saying what, and how those stuff have been controlling your mind and hijacking your energy, because you have to let those things go. They are not relevant to your future, right? Everything you're holding on to, listen, they take anything in your mind takes your energy, right? And this is the end. In order for you to gain back your energy, to gain back your life force, that's why we talk about boundaries is a must. Things stealing your time, stealing your energy, stealing your focus, stealing your attention, listen, in order for you to unleash your full potential, you need to focus, you need to commit, you need to give all of you need to give it attention. So if your attention right now is here, I'm telling you, until you move it and you focus on the future that is in front of you and say, you know what, I'm running a new race. And the day you focus, you now have abandoned project. People will cry and whine and say, oh, you're not giving me your time, you're not calling me anymore. You know, all the places you used to feed with your energy, all the chaotic relationship you used to manage, the phone calls, hey, tell me what happened, this Beyonce song, all those things that you were giving, you will go out all night, dance, you come back the next day, you're tired. The places you used to go that didn't feed you but was holding on to your energy. Listen, many times I've seen people do this. They think neutral spaces is okay. I'm telling you, neutral places that is not helping you move forward is actually helping you stay in the past. Because many people will say, oh, but I don't have to, that friend is okay. Okay. Listen, you have a long journey to go. You have a long journey to go. You need help. You need support. You need so much. So anybody that is not contributing to this journey, tell them you'll be back. But if they tell you, come and sit down and enjoy life, they delay you from your own journey. It's a distraction. So watch out for that. Many people say, oh, but this relationship is not bad. It's okay. It's okay. But I'm telling you, if you are planning for a race, if you're an athlete, if you want to climb a mountain and you have one focus, you only focus on everything that is helping you towards where you're going. If you're not helping me, that's okay. Love still. Gratitude. That's why I say gratitude. It was great while this lasted. You hold a special place in my heart. Gratitude. Forgiveness means let it go. Because anything you don't hold, anything you don't let go, it shrinks your capacity to get more power. And you need more power and energy to power your future. I'm stopping there. There are tons of resources. I have a life strategy workbook, mindset reset workbook. I told you, Miss Video Academy. If you want to do this work, don't do it the bad way. There's a process. I'm telling you, nature has a process. Excuse me. Just as it has a process of when you are impregnated, out to 9 months to birth a baby, you can't speed. Listen, that process is the process. So trust me, God has designed a new process. Like when you went to school, They told you how long it would take, 4 years. Before you even started, they made it clear. There's clarity in that process. This is how long it's going to take. Okay. So when you enroll in that process, you don't then show up year one and say, why is it taking too long? They made it clear. It's 4 years is what it takes. And you signed up for that process. So for me, as an example, when I say 10-week accelerator, it took a year to put it together, but in 10 weeks, it's a process. Follow the process. Don't do one and then follow the process. So I can tell you that third birth, there's a process. This time is customized for you. You know, in the school system, it's a crowd, right? It's a crowd. But remember, when a child is born, baby, it's just you and the mama. This thought process is like that, you and your God, right? Well, it's not a crowd journey. So you might find that you right now you are in the midst of a crowd, but trust me, they're not going where you're going. They're not becoming who you're becoming. They don't have the same calling. They don't have the same mission. So don't this third phase of growth, of betting for you, it's not outside in, it is inside out. So watch out for that, because many people will say, oh, I find myself in the midst of people, they don't have ambition. Da, 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 da. That's okay. That's okay. Many of the things you're going to see is not outside in, it's inside out. That's why you have to get quiet. Part of the tool is quietness, escape from the crowd. Go on retreats. When I say go for events, when I'm hosting events, when I'm teaching classes, pull yourself out of the noise. The noise, you can't do it. Listen, you cannot do it in a crowd. This third phase, you will spend more time with yourself because your soul is trying to tell you and deliver a message to you. There's a program, 30 Keys to Unlock Success. Listen, we talk about legacy. We talk about vision. Vision is the picture of your destination. Vision is the picture of your destination. You've already arrived based on the vision other people had for you that you agreed to and they supported you to. There's a new vision. There's a new picture that's going to show you a new destination. It's not outside in, it's inside out. So quiet is one thing. You're going to seek quietness. Pull yourself from all the everybody dressing the same way. That was the old second phase. The second phase of we're in school together, we're age groups, or we did things together. Third phase, solo. God will deal with you one-on-one. When I do my coaching, I say one-on-one coaching. Sometimes I have group coaching. Then one-on-one is, listen, vulnerability. There are things you have to say and speak out that nobody else must hear. There's things you now have to tell yourself. You have to tell yourself a new story. And that story, remember Joseph made a mistake. He went to start telling his brothers. Be wise. Don't get off this thing now and then go and tell the whole world. This. Be wise. Be wise. Oh, let me invite people. If you want to come speak, I've wrapped up now. I'm done. I'm looking at time. I'm done. Anybody wants to join, say something? I've let it out. If you want to go on that journey and walk through the process I've designed, reach out. Head over to toyinyumesiri.academy. You can also set up a meet and greet. You can go to my website. Let me put my website out there. toyinyumesiri.com. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, go to toyinyumesiri.com/meet and greet. I think on the main on the main page you see schedule a meet and greet. I think it's 20 is it 20 minutes or 15? I don't know. Go check it out. And then if you want to talk, right? But if you also want to go through, I would even after we spoke, I would still recommend that first program, the life strategy workbook. It's a success life strategy workbook. Is that you now have to reprogram yourself, the way you think, the way you talk. You've got to do that first, and then that would equip you and give you clarity to now take a breather and then own up. It's part of removing all the stories. Hi, this Nettie, you've got to come up because I'm going to be closing now. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so do come up. Or maybe sometimes people are in a crowd, but that's okay. I would love. Listen, guys, I don't just want to be speaking. I want to hear, what do you think? Was this helpful? Oh, Jatara says thank you, Queen. Awesome. It says facts. It says I'm keeping my plus or minus for my source giving. Okay, is it energy? Okay, that's an energy bar. Okay, you're keeping your energy. Yes, it's okay. Thank you, coach. Yes, energy. I mean, even the program, I have all kinds of programs, right? So if we talk, you know which one you need. There's 130 keys to unlock success. One of it is I talk about energy. I talk about, like, again, 30 keys to unlock success, right? Remember, I talk about what do you want, what do you need? You need 30 keys. Part of the key, I talk about time. Time is an opportunity for you to do work, to create. Today now, time is the first investment on your journey to success. I know I want to go, but let me just quickly tell you. So there are 30 keys in that 30, right? That program. Each of them, I break it down. It was completed over 30 days. So each day for 30 days, I share the key. Now you can complete it at your own pace, right? And it's over 7+ hours in total. But some of the key is you have to understand now the things you're going to use to unlock this next level of success, right? Energy is one of them. Okay. Time is one of them. Space is one of them. Legacy, there are 30 of those things. If you want to learn it, head over to toyinyumesiwi.academy, right? And the day you realize how important time is God's investment in you. You didn't create time. You cannot stop it. You cannot do anything with it. It's an opportunity. I've explained this before, that yesterday, today, tomorrow, time. People who don't understand this power of time, this is where they procrastinate. They are moving the work that belongs in today, they are moving it tomorrow, into tomorrow. And tomorrow is not in your hands, it's still in God's hands. Yesterday, right? You've submitted yesterday. What you did yesterday, you submitted it. It's like in school, right? They give you a sheet of paper. Once you have that sheet of paper, that's your day. That's the only thing you can control. Before it was given to you, you cannot control it. After the teacher takes it back, it's done. That's yesterday. So yesterday was given to you yesterday. You had the opportunity to write and create and do anything you wanted to. That's your gift. That's the gift of God to you and I. Your own gift is what you do with that time. When you are done, you go to bed, you sleep. That day is done. You submitted that day. There's a record of everything you did minute time, right? With that day. Today is another sheet of paper. It's another opportunity to create. You know why? You can only create in today. You can't create in tomorrow. You can't create yesterday, because none of those things you don't have control. But once the day is given to you, it's a gift. Because many people right now, they woke up today. Today has been taken. They don't have the opportunity of tomorrow. So do today. If you don't, that future, life is lived and created one day at a time. It's not created in tomorrow. It's not created in yesterday. Today is the only space where you can drive impact. You cannot impact tomorrow. You cannot impact yesterday. The only way, actually, you can make tomorrow a little bit better is to prepare today what tomorrow needs. Tomorrow needs you to come in tomorrow more equipped, more knowledgeable, more skilled, so that the assignment of tomorrow, you are more prepared and you have more capacity. But if you didn't train yourself today, if you didn't show up to the gym today, you didn't develop any skill today, you show up into tomorrow weak. Tomorrow will question you. What were you doing? What did you do yesterday? Let's ask. What did you use yesterday to do? What did you create yesterday? What did you improve in your life yesterday? What did you contribute? These are the real questions for you to transform and unleash your true potential. You've got to look at the mirror and ask yourself truthful questions and challenge yourself to do better. You know why? People like myself, all of these things I'm saying is not relevant to people who do not want to do better. In fact, it's noisy. Ooh, they don't want to hear it. But the people who want to unleash highest potential. This is like food. This is nourishment to their soul. They're hearing the truth, and your spirit will bear witness, right? Hi, Chizoba. Welcome. Go ahead and share your thoughts.
Hello, thank you for giving me the floor. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, I'm just trying to concur with. My name is Chizoba. I want to concur with what you've been saying, that time is very valuable, and that if you look at the lives of people that are successful and the lives of people that are unsuccessful, major difference is what they do with their time. For instance, the man that gets a first class in the university, and the man that gets a pass, the basic difference there is what each of them did with their time. The other guy might be gallivanting, going to parties and doing things that are not worthwhile, while the other guy applies himself to education and knowledge. Then I also want to talk about what I've heard you talk about, clarity. You know, in life, if you don't know where you're going to, you will never get there. Because I know there's a saying that says, a man going nowhere always gets there. So if you don't have a destination, you might be comfortable wherever you are. So it's very, very important, in as much as we want to make the most of our time, we need to know what we want to actually achieve in life. It's not okay to say, I want to be successful. What is success? It has so many definitions. You want to be a successful footballer, you want to be, so we have to be very clear about goals. And when there's a clarity of goals, then we can actually achieve what we want to achieve, making the most of our time. Thank you. I use my mic.
I appreciate that, because even during this session, I didn't teach on how to create boundaries. I just talked on why you need it. Right? I did not teach you how, because there are ways, there are effective ways to teach it. But the key is that if you don't know why, you don't even understand, right, the value, what it's going to do for you. So today I was just laying the foundation. Those who now want to know how, right, toyinmesiri.academy, there's a space for you to learn and do that work. That's a school. It's a school. You have to become a student to learn and adopt the skills. So when you talked about time is God's investment in you, and He's watching. What are you going to do with it? Time is more valuable than money. People don't understand. People don't understand. People don't understand. Money, time is more. When you talk to older gen people, and time is ticking and is running away every day. You can't hold on to it. So many times, what you're supposed to, and a lot of the work and assignment and birthing, just like you have a birth date, people miss the window of time dedicated and allotted to certain work they are supposed to do. Like in the real world, right? They've mapped out this education system that says when you are age 9, you should be here, age 14, you should be here, age 20, age 22, you should have graduated. They marked it out. So if you see somebody 22 and it say, okay, do you have a degree? And they say, no, I don't have a degree. Did you go to school? And said, anybody that is listening will go, you missed it. Because now, do you now want to go back to high school at 22? Right? That would be something in people's mind, is that there are times best to do certain things. It's just like women, right? Nature has time. Nature has time. But for women, if you don't do what you ought to do at a certain time, okay, you get the scenario is different. I'm not going to go into that. So what is going on now is that many people think that they've got control over time, that they are bigger than time, that they are bigger than life, that they are bigger than nature, that they are bigger than purpose, that they are bigger than God. So they mismanage, they devalue the most valuable parts of the gifts God has given them. Youth is a gift. Youth. Being a young, able man is a gift. When you are 80, you don't have the strength of a youth. What you can carry at 35, you become 63, you can't carry that burden physically. You will have wisdom, but the physical strength to run over. And like, let's say you are supposed to build a business. Many people say, oh, when I retire, retirement will stress you. But the risk, like when you are younger, the stress to give birth, the things you're supposed to bet at 35, you want to bet it at 55. It will be difficult. That's why we say coaching. You need more help, more support. You will wear yourself out more. So when people don't understand that these things, there's a legacy you ought to create so that the next generation can build on it. I explained it in the 30 keys to unlock success. The next generation is waiting for you. You know why I say this? Your job and your journey would have been easier if the previous generation laid the steady steps for you. You just come in. There are many people now, their parents built wealth. Their journey is different. If you're the first person in your family trying to do this, the work you will do is different. But some family, when they are did 2-3 generations, they've broken through, they've built legacy, easier life. I'm not saying that's perfect. I'm just saying their own reality and their own journey. Right? You are starting here, they are starting, the journey was activated for them. And many times when children are born, say into royalty or into those successful places, listen, they give them a different type of training because they don't want them to go back to survival mode. They give them this identity of greatness. So when they are born into greatness, listen, they don't want you to think like other people. So they take them to the best schools, private schools. They fly them here, fly them there because they want to expose them to because the parents fought too hard to break away from mediocrity. The parents fought too hard, so they want to bet the inheritance of the child is a new way of thinking. Because if you go, that's what I'm saying. The moment you bet this, you bet this new version of you. Listen, your children, their life has to be. I always use this story in the Bible. If the children of Israelites failed to enter the promised land, guess what happened? The ripple effect is like the children that were supposed to born into the promised land, they weren't born into the promised land. The children then had to fight what the parents didn't fight. So if you don't bet, kids they will start where you stop. They start their journey again because you're going to invest in them everything you know. Right? You can't give them what you don't know. They now have to go and search. They have to, it's like you leave them to the world again. The world will program them again. Now they are back to where you are today. So if you don't fight this for you, at least fight it so that your children won't fight what you are not fighting right now. This is why I talk about legacy. Build something, register the business, start something. Don't even do it for you anymore, depending on what age, right? Do it for the next generation. Because some people right now, again, no matter what I say, they still don't understand. They're not something hasn't activated. Why? That's why that 30 keys to unlock success in my school, it's an activation tool. It's an activation tool because you need to wake up a different side of the greatest version of it that has not been expressed in the world. You have to wake it up. The activation. God does the activation differently. It's like the chicken in the eggshell. If externally it is cracked, the chick will die. But again, nature has this thing that you have to crack it open. Right? You have to say, you know what? I'm ready to get out of the matrix. Right? You have to say, I'm ready to get out of the conditioning. It was fantastic, comfortable, but I want to see what else is out there. You do it for yourself. It's your investment in your future, and what that future looks like is really up to you at the end of the day. So thank you, Chizoba, for contributing there. So time is a gift God gave you. It's in today. You cannot do anything about tomorrow. You cannot do anything about yesterday because both of those things they're not in your hands. You have zero control. But what you can control right now, every minute, every hour, is the day that is in front of you. And when this day ends, a new one, if God gives you permission, give you a new one and is watching you, it's an opportunity for you to create, for you to build, for you to impact, to bring your full life force, to think clearly about what you want for your tomorrow. What you do today determines tomorrow. What you don't do, also, you will see it tomorrow. Because many people will arrive. This is what gives birth to a lot of regrets. I don't like talking about regrets. I don't even like it at all. This is why I'm telling you, do today what you need to do today. When tomorrow becomes today, do today. The message is do today what you need to do today. Become the person you ought to become today. Lay the brick you ought to do the assignment of today. Every day has an assignment. And if you give me a log of how you spent your time, it will show you where you're going. So if the last 20 let's say 48 hours, time by time, I woke up this time, I did this, I did this, I did that. If you keep an inventory, let me tell you, whatever you see, that's where you're going. That's who you are. What you give your time to is what you term as important. That's what's important to you. Okay? That's it. What you give your time to is what's important to you, and it's who you are. And so if you want to become a different person, you've got to give that time, you have to redirect it. You have to point it in a new direction. You need to learn how to point your time in a different direction. Right? I also talked about space. I teach all this like space, where you occupy. Some space matters because I tell, like in my classes, I talk about space determines the resources you can access, the people, quality of people you can access, and the information you can access. Space. There's time, opportunity to create. Space, space, where your energy occupies determines who you can access, what you will know, and the resources you can tap into to create within time. Time and space. So that's why those three things, not all spaces have the resources you need to create. Not all spaces, whether virtual or physical spaces, we are living right now, we are sharing space, not physically. We're not in the same space physically, but by virtue of technology, we are occupying in the same time, we are occupying space. And because we are occupying shared spaces, you are now exposed to a certain type of knowledge. Those people that are not occupying this space with us, their consciousness hasn't opened into what we're sharing. They are somewhere else. They are giving their time to somewhere else. And where they give their time to will determine, okay, the space you spend your time will determine, again, information you would access, what you would know, what you will have, and the quality of the people you can connect with. This is why sometimes God will say move physically or virtually. Log in there, attend this class, go to Toyin's Academy, call this person. But many people think the space of their bedroom or their house. Listen, if you look around you and you can't find quality people, quality resources, quality information, run, run, run. Because quality people can be passing by. Elijah. Elijah is not going to sit with you where you are comfortable plowing this, doing your work. Elijah has places to go. You are the one to run. Your teachers, when your teachers show up, when your mentors show up, when your coaches show up, many people will now do. You're not doing them a favor. You run after, right? Because your future, in a way, is tied to some people and places and resources. You don't get it. That future, the day you activate it, that future is tied to a place, is tied to people that have resources and information. That is why you show up to a school. Remember, to become a doctor, You need to spend time in a space where you have teachers, books, and resources and connection and people important for your future. That's what my school is about. You will invest time. If the space, if you want to be a business owner, you don't want to spend on, right, figure this out yourself. You invest time, energy, resources to access that space. Matters. This space is not social media. So many people on social media are picking crumbs. Let me tell, if it hasn't helped you last 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, is it going to unlock it for you? Space matters. Space. Where you occupy, whether it's virtually, where you put your head. Let me just say, where you put your head, where you put your mind, the people that influence, whatever they pour into you, where you expose your mind, part time, every time. The book, sometimes you can bury your mind in a book. The book would enlighten you. You used your time to gather information. You read this book, it refreshes you, it educates you, it empowers you. Those who didn't read that book, they've not expanded consciousness in the knowledge embedded in that book. This is why you read. This is why we read. So many people are roaming around in the world, hoping instead of investing your time. You will invest time in the right spaces. Because not all spaces would unlock what you need, the resources you need, the people you need, the information you need. All spaces are not equal. This is where people invest. People travel. When I host something, they travel far and near. Because the moment they invest their mind and they show up, whether they log into my events or my classes, and they learn this, learn that, activation, consciousness, enlightenment. Right? So it's either you're in the dark or you're in the light. It's either, the Bible says, lack of knowledge, people perish. It's either you are dark. The knowledge you don't have within your mind, you cannot use it to create. So you need knowledge to create. You need skills to create. You need capacity to create. You need resources to create. You need helpers to create. You need it. Remember, I said what you want versus what you need. So when people haven't activated what they want, when people like myself showing up, I'm selling you cement for those who want to buy a house. If you're not building a house, move on. If you're not building a future, everything I'm saying, you're like, oh, it's just nice. Listen, you go take your time, go and invest it in the space that will help you build your future. So if social media is building your future for you, keep sitting there. You're giving it your time now. Yeah, you don't know you're building Facebook's money. People are using, you're building, making money. Okay, let me know. I don't want to go into now. But you understand now. So this the 30 keys to unlock success. It's a combination lock. I say success is a combination lock. So I give you 30 keys that you're going to, you don't know which one will open. That's the other thing. This next door. Part of life, there's something incredible about nature. If you want to have a baby, you don't know which one. If you want to plant as a farmer, you don't know which seed will be activated. So you scatter your seed. The same thing, you don't know which idea is the key to your wealth. So you try everything, try a lot of things. Try it all. Try it all. So when I give that 30 keys to unlock success, I'm telling you, one of these or a combination of it, listen, is a game changer for your life, for your future. When I give you 30 keys and I tell you how to use it, listen, you will find success in there. You'll be unstoppable. It's a combination lock. You don't know which one, but keep trying. Tony said time. Okay, I'll use my time wisely. Okay, Tony said energy. Okay, legacy. Okay, communication, how I speak and how I talk. Okay, networking, who I know. You try it. Try unlocking it. Try the 30 keys. Or maybe 2 together. But many people are not trying. They're just sitting, waiting and hoping and wishing. Oh, it doesn't work that way. You will activate this next phase of your life. You will be the force behind it. You and God. and it's going to look nothing. You will surprise people. You will surprise yourself. You surprise people. The things I'm working on now, the things I'm doing. Listen, listen. God surprises me. I'm like, mm. First degree. My first degree is mathematics. Mathematics. I can do some equation for you. Minor computer science. Second degree information. I got those degrees. Show me your degrees. I'll show you my degrees. But there was more. Everybody, if you're in church, I'll tell you, I'll tell you, and there was more. Preacher Tony just came out now. Minister Tony just came out now. And God said, there is more in you. And God is telling you today, daughter, I've invested more. I've invested more. There's more. There is more. Everybody say there is more. Everybody say there is more. Everybody say there is more. There is more. Say there is more in me. There is more. There is more in you. There is more. There is all more in us. There is more. Yay! Okay. Drama. In my house now, we're so playful. We do all kinds of drama. I just showed you a little bit. There is more. So don't sit on that degree. Don't sit on that job. Don't sit on that thing. There's more. There's more. There's more. So if you want to learn how to create boundaries, how to really do this work, activate this new process, elevated version of you, unlocking it in a gentle, more sophisticated way than you running all over the place and still being lost and feeling tired, and reach out. Join toyimesri.academy. See ya. I'm seeing fam there, family. Good to see you all. Bye for now. I'm closing it out.